Right, back wheels off. These are the, put the light on, hold on, there you go. These are the bolts that I use instead of the studs, through there. PTFE on it so it doesn't leak out. Fire them off. The little 10mm nut on the brake rod, that'll just pull off. So now, with one end, probably not. Ooh. Give it a, we're off. See there, these holes. Put it under the exhaust so you can't see. These holes go, see the bearing? Just pull out the bits of PTF. That's the bearing. So there's no leakage, it's bone dry. That's that. It's shining straight in the camera. Oh, gold. Right, so the end of the prop shaft went, God, in there, splined. So at the end of the, and I used to struggle like a bloody lunatic. You can take this, this will pull out from these, this is a fork, there's two big pins, one at the top, one at the bottom, one in there, one on the other side, directly opposite, 180 degrees opposite. And there's a similar sort of affair on the gearbox, bolted onto the gearbox with one pin through there and one pin through there. See the holes in there, see it there. You can get it off, but it is a proper struggle because there's not a great deal of room and it won't fit right in there. So you have to sort of fiddle and fart ass about and drop it down from the top and get the two of the pins in and then use tie levers, and you risk damaging the paint. Well, say damaging the paint is plastic powder coating, but a friend of mine, Greg, he said, well, I'll just leave it on and take it out with the gearbox. And I thought, what a dickhead, why didn't I do that before? So that's that. I'm going to take this whole arm off by, bear with, there's a, yeah, where are we looking? I can't see what I'm looking at. Here we go. That little R-clip and that rod, that's where the, in there is the thrust bearing. That R-clip comes out, that rod will pull it. No. Wait. Oh, for goodness sake, I'm a bloody contortionist. Behind there is the thrust bearing, which will come out once I've taken this clutch arm off. But I still want to take the gearbox off and have a look inside. So take this arm off, take all these gubbins off. This will have to come off anyway when I take the gearbox out. 4 bolts, two at the top, 2 at the bottom. Airbox off, gearbox out. Neutral light switch, that can stay on. And then it just comes out the other side. I'll take the carburetor off on the left hand side and it just comes out. So I'll see if I can edit this together rather than putting up 300 bloody videos. And then we'll go. I'll get back to you. Bye bye, won't be long. Boosh. Right. And gearbox. The clutch push rod. That's the original. That goes on there underneath this bit, stop the oil coming out the other side of the case. The oil seal sits on there, the other side of that bearing. That oil seal, oh god, that oil seal, which stops obviously the oil coming from the outside, but the inside from the splines, you have a little recess in there, just around there, which that oil seal sits inside, which is chewed up and buggered, and that stops the oil coming up the splines and then through the middle. So I need one of them. The push rod. Dnepr clutches have a little square hole in the disc, in the clutch disc, the outer one, which that fella sits in, and a BMW doesn't. So this has been ground to a point just to fit into the focus, into the clutch. And that should be on the end with an oil seal in the middle, and it isn't. It's broken. That's what the shrieking was. Horrible shrieking noise. The end of that shaft, showing the good one, fits in there, and that thrust bearing, obviously whizzy whiz. The thrust bearing goes from outside the case and sits in that shaft, and that push rod goes down the middle of the shaft into the gearbox, into the clutch. But both pieces are focus. See where the balls run, and this one where the balls run. Now the chap I get the spares from, he's got this sort of thing, but with needle rollers, so it spreads the load right across the surface area of this disc, which I shall try. Regarding this, what I could see, this fitting here, it's got quite a bit of slop, and even this one with the oil seal. I mean, the oil seal's not that snug. The oil level doesn't come up this high. So what I might do is get a piece of, because another, see, again, Soviet. You line these two up, the two shoulders, and my one, without the square, with ground to a point, is longer than the one with the square on it, so I can't even grind this one down. I thought about sticking a ball bearing in the clutch, holding it in with a bit of grease, but then the grease is going to fly on the clutch and blah blah blah, and you're going to have, it might work, I might be able to use that idea. Somebody will probably tell me I'm being a dick, but or I could get a piece of rod this same diameter, machine some grooves and put O-rings in there so they're snug in there, because obviously once it's got oil in it, they'll just spin in there quite happily. They don't have to be really tight, but I mean 2 or 3 O-rings in there, but leaving enough. See, the end of it has to go in there. I'm doing this with one hand and looking through there with the other. So let's rest that on there, and that little bit goes in there. So I might try and figure a way, because obviously this is the weak point. This goes down to flash has gone off, 5mm, and you can see where the end of this is mushroomed out, where it's been getting really hot and shrieking. So what to do? Interesting. So at least I found out what was doing it, and it was, yeah, it wasn't the best noise in the world. Getting you one of these with needle rollers instead of ball bearings, that'll be nice. They fit in there. The clutch arm pivots on there and pushes on that through this fella, which sticks out. That's got an O-ring on it. Clutch arm fits in that groove, pushes in and out. Boop, 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 boop. I think it was my fault where I put that new clutch mechanism on it, the chain, the derailleur gear and the chain around it. I've obviously had it too tight. I thought originally I'd destroyed this because this is only plastic, look. It's just plastic with some balls in it. Obviously when it's covered in oil it's quite smooth, but it's not the sturdiest in the world. So needle rollers will be an upgrade for that, which will just leave something for this. How thick is this? One end. No. This up there. Oh God. 9 mil, 9.5. Well, 9.3. But I'm doing it with one hand, so I'm not getting the best measurement in the world. 9. And the tip, 5. So look, 9 down to 5. I mean, what do you expect, especially with obviously the Dnepr clutch is a lot lighter, but the BM clutch is very heavy. The new 4th gear is sitting down there, down the bottom. I'm not sure if I like the look of these teeth. These teeth here. Let's get some light. They're it's not going to focus now. They're looking a bit chiseled. Look at the top of them. They're not smooth, you know, nice edges like these, not nice edges like them. They're definitely, but the inside of the gearbox, when I took it, obviously I've taken it apart, it's really clean. There is a bit of shmoo down, God, but that was from the push rod. So we shall see. Do something with that. Maybe get some grooves in there, a couple of grooves, couple of O-rings, maybe a couple up there, one down there, just to sort of, or where it's in the shaft, because obviously this bit hangs out the back of the gearbox, so just to keep it from wobbling about. But then again, if I've got 2 O-rings there and one there, and this is dry and that's spinning, I don't know, but that's that anyway. So we shall see what happens. Any comments, thank you, leave them below. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Goodbye all.